Oh, that's cool. Oh, look, it's George Webb.
Hey, Eddie Eds, how are you? Unfortunately, we got to do the masks, folks, because everybody's on a hair trigger here in Washington, D.C. And I don't want to have 1 second make the difference between me being able to continue reporting and not. So I'm not trying to provoke anybody. I don't need to go to jail. I don't need to pay $1,000 fine. I'm just here to bring the message out to the American people of what's happening. This is really the result of what you do after a coup. After you do a coup, you do an occupation. Coup, occupation. There's no sense in doing a coup if you don't do an occupation. That's what we're covering, an occupation.
Right. Okay.
Shall
we?
Did you get that all on film?
Yeah, we're live right now.
Okay.
Right. I'm kind of glitching a little bit. Maybe I just won't share the camera again, but I'm switching the camera here. Okay, we're back. Lost you there for a second, folks. I switched the camera from the front to the back, so I probably won't do that again. I'll just have to use my ability to visualize where the camera might be with George right now, as you saw before him talking. Presumably, I think we were live when he went. Wearing masks right now in DC. It's kind of chilly. I'm just wearing a shirt because I'm crazy like that. And they've changed the fencing or barrier gate a bit. The gating along Independence Avenue has been removed, but the gating here along 3rd Street, Northwest, where we're at right now, is still there. And it seems like there's actually more traffic here today. They're allowing cars to drive on the roads now. We actually parked quite close to the fence here, and there's actually a checkpoint set up over here as well. And I'm here with George Webb. Again, looks like National Guardsmen are running this checkpoint. They are armed. They got their M4s, M4 carbine or carbine, as some say. And it looks like being assisted by DC police. And they're just waving this car up here.
This situation really hasn't changed much from the film that you took earlier, right? It's still sort of the same.
Yeah, it's
same outline, same perimeter.
Yeah, so I was here on Sunday. It's Friday, the 22nd of January, 2020. Our new president, Joe Biden, just got sworn in, inaugurated a few days ago. The only difference that I can see, George, is the gate on Independence, which is straight ahead of us. Those barriers on either side of the street were removed, but the ones just further is still there, and the one at
Rayburn office building behind you there, Capitol is just behind you over the corner there, right?
Yeah, that's actually where George and I, when we exited on the 6th, we came out of the That's the east side. The SCOTUS side, I believe. SCOTUS side, let's say. We went around and we went on this side of the Rayburn office building and came down and then left the Federal South Station, which is back like 4 blocks behind us. But I just saw that something like 5,000 National Guardsmen had to sleep in a parking garage last night. So after all our politicians got done doing lip service to them, they sent them all to share. I read one bathroom for 5,000 guardsmen. It got down to 40 degrees in the parking garage, and I guess some people were bringing them pizza and stuff. Some locals were bringing them some like food and stuff like that, but really don't want to see that our military being treated that way, especially by politicians who seems to be using them as a means of security for their soft coup to successfully complete. Really, they're at the final stages of this rolling coup, and they're now got John Brennan talking about how dangerous libertarians are, how they're a threat to democracy. I said this like a day or two ago. Libertarians, look at this, DHS, Federal Protective Service Police. What new agency will come from this? What do you think, George? You're gonna get a new agency from this whole
I think DHS.
fiasco?
I think DHS, from what they say.
Look at that, all lined. You can see all the guardsmen over there. Actually, maybe George and I can cross the street here. We can get a better view of everything that's going on. But that was a DHS officer car, which I had never actually seen one of those before, that we just walked past. It's a bit windy here. We just dropped off somebody at the airport. And
There's a lot of still quite a presence here.
yeah.
Here
So,
with the National Guard.
so as I said, Independence, they knocked the gates down, but here at 3rd Street, the gates is still extended along Independence, and you can see on this side are the National Guardsmen. I'm just gonna do a quick head count here. It's about like 40 or so just within this area, 40, 50.
Now they've gone from this 8-foot fence, Addie, to razor wire to this 12-foot fence.
Yeah, just up here. Let me see if I can. Okay, you can see that now. And there are people here. Looks like citizens and stuff. But there is the Capitol building. M4s are still on the shoulders of a lot of these guys. And
It's a little like an occupation. I hate to say it. I saw Berlin before the wall went down. It kind of reminds me of Berlin.
wow. Yeah, it's you said they already named it, George, huh? Operation Green Zone, is that correct? Green Zone. You need mics inside your masks. Military in control. Checkpoint. Yeah. Oh yeah, here we go. Shout out to Pep Watson.
Pep Watson is in England, correct?
Yeah, he
I
is.
saw your interview with Pep Watson. Great interview.
Yeah, shout out to Pepsi Watson. And here we go. Let me pull up here. Look at this fence, guys. Really a big difference in kind of, just the security of this fence. I'm not really sure what kind of nails these are called, but a lot more sturdy.
It's a lot higher. My reach is stage 6. You can see it's at least an 11-foot fence with razor wire. So this is much more imposing of a fence than the 8-foot fence.
A lot harder to get through too. A lot more reinforced. Although
somebody said something about being against walls, right?
yeah,
The first day they put in is a wall. we've got the shofar. Go a little further here.
God blowing a shofar back there. Really, really lucky we caught some of these last bits of sunlight here. I'm gonna pull my mask down so people can look at this guy. See these guys there? There's the Capitol building there. Behind, this guy's totally masked up. He's got his goggles. I mean, it's chilly, guys. And these guys aren't really moving around a lot either. They're kind of, so, they probably got decent enough gear to stay warm, but I can't imagine this is something that a lot of them particularly enjoy. I don't know, maybe they do. It's certainly something, they don't really have a say in. They just have to do it. So that's the way it is. That's part of the job.
All the way up to Lincoln. It looks like at least the Washington Monument. And this is the only walking corridor, it looks like, on the mall until you get up to Smithsonian, which is interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, and as I said, this wasn't accessible when I was here on Sunday. So it's kind of nice to be able to see the front of the Capitol. We get the Capitol view. But really a lot more guys out that I could see.
I think there's no downgraded presence of number of troops. It looks like the same number of troops that we saw a couple days ago.
Yeah.
There doesn't seem like to be the drawdown that we heard about.
Yeah, so last I checked, it was 65K, rounding up. It was like about 64K, 65K, rounding up. So it's a lot of troops, guys. 65,000 from all 50 states, and upwards of 90,000. 90,000. Take this down for a second here. 90,000 total nationwide. So quite a lot of National Guardsmen. But I mentioned before, here on Sunday, and Independence is just over there. This was, barriered off as well. So since the inauguration, presumably, they have opened this up for people to walk through. You can see, and there's actually people posting, looks like deaths of veterans. So call justice for SPC Dion Servant, Fort Hood. This is Iraq. This is Iraq. This is Fort Hood. Oh, this is Vanessa Guillen, Fort Hood. So people posting and putting flowers down too, as you can see right here. But I will see if I can get you guys. There's the fence there. You can see that. And this is Dark Winter, guys. Operation Dark Winter. Yeah.
Let's go back the other way.
Yeah. Yeah, let me give this back to you, George. I want to get this mask on so I don't ruffle any feathers.
Well, I'm George Webb here, reporting live at the Capitol, and I just wanted to say to everyone out there in Addy Ads land that this is surprising. I've been in Washington, D.C. a long time, and it just seems like a lot of lockdown, but there you have it.
Yeah, and it's cold, guys, so we're going to keep moving. But there are people taking pictures and stuff, and photographers here, possibly media. There were media here on Sunday, pre-inauguration as well. There it is. And then this way, of course, is the Washington Monument. You can see that. Really great twilight lighting we're getting here, George. Yeah, we got.
You have a top cameraman now and a young anchor, so it's working out pretty well. I can help some of them.
Yeah. Well, we got John Brennan now. He lumps together bigots, white nationalists, racists, domestic terrorists, and libertarians.
And libertarians.
Libertarians.
People who want that constitution.
All of
They're
that
dangerous.
that ilk, the libertarian ilk that often goes with domestic terrorism.
Now, is that the reprogramming they're talking about? Reprogramming is these libertarians or
It just seems, George, that unless you're hard left, you're in the wrong. Libertarians is, it's so, to me, very close to my interpretation of the Constitution in many ways. But for these power mongers like John Brennan, they're just going to keep pushing down or pushing for this top down control and increasing it. And we walk past the DHS car. Is there another agency that's going to come out of this whole situation? A new DHS, a bio DHS?
Well, I used your film and see some of the National Guard over there checking out the Capitol. It's beautiful tonight. There's a green zoning of America. And the green zoning of America is to put these green zones in 50 capital cities and then 35 largest cities. It's the same place where you have these fusion centers, DHS fusion centers. And this is based on the model going back to Vietnam.
You got surveillance.
Yeah.
Surveillance biker. And that's something I noticed too. Sorry, I'll interrupt George for a second here before he gets back to his point. Sunday, there was multiple bikers wearing neon, long, kind of like lanky, athletic dudes on bikes. They're wearing neon yellow, probably CIA or something, but definitely running surveillance. They were just biking. DHS. They were just biking around in no particular pattern or routine, but that's likely one of them. Anyways, George was saying.
Well,
Talking about these fusion centers at the DHS buildings in the green zones.
Yeah, the idea is that you basically establish these green zones.
Yeah. Talking about green zones here, guys. Sorry about the audio. We got to wear we're trying to wear masks most of the time here because we can't get a fine, I guess, in the entire District of Columbia.
Yeah. So green zones are basically footprints. It comes out of actually the Strategic Hamlet program in Vietnam, but the Phoenix program called for these basically footprints, enclaves, forts, holdouts that are heavily fortified, that you would need ID, biometric ID, that sort of thing. And then you then can run operations out of the green zones. And the cool thing about the green zones, it's under the security of whatever authority has authority in the green zone. So the rules as far as Constitution, etc., are suspended in the green zone. So like the green zone in Baghdad, you have run by the military. You have military courts inside there. You can run in operatives, agencies, intel operatives. You can do anything you want. And it's an infiltration strategy. It's the first step to taking over the politics, the government, and the business. Slowly but surely, it's an infiltration strategy. And you just wonder, is this the beginning of the green zoning of America? It certainly feels like it. And not a lot of resistance, really, to this at all politically.
Is this the beginning of the green zoning of America? George asks. I think it's a great question. Just talking about the green zone in, it was Iraq, right?
Baghdad, Iraq, yeah.
Yeah, Baghdad, Iraq. And there's actually been a movie or two made about that. But basically, you have a self-governing, autonomous zone where you can do anything you want, to put it very, very curtly.
Yep. Like, for instance, anything that happens with a soldier shooting someone in a green zone, it's no questions asked.
Right.
And soldiers can leave the green zone and go out and do operations outside of the green zone. And they're allowed to, as long as they get back to the green zone, it pretty much goes without any penalty or any investigation.
Yeah.
And this is the model that China used, or Britain used in China, Singapore, Hong Kong. They had these enclaves, these ports. And as long as you had a green zone or an autonomous zone, you could run infiltration operations out of there until you basically own the whole state or own the whole city or wherever your infiltration target is.
Yeah. It's like if you guys have ever played base tag, it's where like you play tag in teams, and then whoever gets back to the base, if you're touching the base, you can't get tagged.
Right.
So you can do all these tag operations as long as you get back to base in time. You're in the clear. And this is, you know, basically any military base functions along similar lines in the sense that it's a autonomous zone in many ways. It runs its own law in criminal system, basically.
Right. The difference here is you can take over the green zone with a foreign force. You can have like revolution laws, so you have a Hessian strategy. So you're allowed to basically bring in foreign operatives to man these green zones, and NATO or whoever the government body is,
Yeah,
that manages them,
the hired help, who are the hired help,
are the ones that administrate the justice.
Yeah.
So it's called extraterritoriality, and that's who makes the rules. It's a martial court. It's not a civil court.
Yeah.
Basically, the idea is to take over the civil courts, take over the business. All business has to go through the green zone administrators, the governors general, if you will.
Yeah.
And that's the colonialism model. That's the colonialism model.
Yeah.
So you just wonder, you know, are they going to get tax breaks for the green zones? Are they going to get enterprise zones for the green zones?
It's like might is right. Might is right, you know, type of.
And they have the $2 trillion for COVID relief. Is that really to go to the green zone merchants? That's the key question.
So we're coming up on Hidden Figures Way here.
Yeah, right by NASA.
I think it was recently
This
renamed.
building right here is also where
Judicial Watch.
right there. And then NASA, the street across, the building across.
E Street 300 block.
So,
All right, I'm gonna check out these comments, guys, before I sign off. When faced. Yeah, sorry about the audio, guys. Why do you have to wear a mask outside, not near anyone? It's DC, guys. District of Columbia. That is the mandate. Although not everybody does. George needs a mic. We can't hear you. Okay, sorry, guys. Anyways, there's a sit rep, guys. Quick sit rep, 25 minutes. Eddie Ads, Attican, Chosen One. Free Pepsi Watson. With Big Man George, Steve Frosty.